Hello, hi, all. Hi, it's Tees. Good day, good afternoon, good evening. I hope all are well. Hope all are safe. Now, I was kind of thinking of the youth that's coming up now, and I'm thinking like, who is this era? Like, who are they targeting? Is that the hood era? Like, as far as the hoods, they call them quote unquote hood rats, and their children. Like, are you targeting them, or is this for the public schoolers, or both? As far as the raunchy music and the whatever this sick agenda is, to where it's like, okay, your children are up for grabs. And it's been going on for a little while now, because I made a video about this maybe a year or two ago, that hey, your children are about to get toe up, and if you ain't got toe up already, this is the time to do it, because it's like, this nasty era of where there's no limits and everything's sexualized, and it's, oh, you can do whatever you want to do. You don't have to tell your parents if you want to get your genitals swapped. And it's so reckless now, to where it's like, is that for the hood children, or is that public school, or both? Because it's kind of one of them things where if you don't teach your children right from wrong, if you're not indoctrinating them, then they're up for grabs. So I want to say it's not necessarily public school either. I'm thinking even private school. They may have a certain curriculum, but it's something about releasing your children to the wolves. Okay, yeah, you're in a private school, everything is cool there and everything is on point, but I'm still delivering my children to you, so Lord knows what's going on in those schools, and Lord knows what those children are tainted and indoctrinated with, with and without the curriculum. So with that being said, I was kind of wondering, it's like, okay, I want to say mainly, this is just from me on the outside looking in, I want to say the target is mainly for the quote unquote the hoods, the children in the hood, because most of the time or the parents, they're gonna jump on what's easier for the children in the hood. Like, oh, okay, hey, here's the music for the hood, here's the food for the hood, here's the school for the hood, here's the clothing you're supposed to wear for the hood, and here are the party favorites that's supposed to be found in the hood. You see what I'm saying? Notice how it's only the hood when you have hood rats in there. You see what I'm saying? Just to put a hood rat is a certain caliber of person. The hood is filled with a certain caliber of people. You see what I'm saying? It only exists with a certain caliber of people, because you get that same hood, the quote-unquote hood. You take those hood people out of there, and it's no longer the hood anymore. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm thinking the main target are those who are, and I don't want to sound ignorant to say those who are on food stamps, because you don't necessarily have to be on food stamps to be hood, but I want to say, I don't even know how to describe it. We'll just say low income. We'll call them low. But then again, though, I'll just stick with the hood rats. So I want to say those are the main targets, because I'm thinking that those will be easier to manipulate. Like, okay, hey, I'll give you this food, and hopefully you'll bite. We'll give you this dance or this music, and it's basically a certain trinkets that come with the hood. Certain trinkets that come with it. You got the food, music, the party favors, the clothes, and the benefits, quote unquote. And I put quote unquote as far as those benefits, quote unquote. And another thing too, even with public school, you'll think with public school, do they go off the hype? And a lot of hood children do go to public schools. And it's like, but most of the time the public school curriculum is going off the hype of what's going on in society. Like, okay, well, these children love social media, they love this and that, they eat this type of food and listen to this type of music. But when it comes to who are they appealing to, basically, if you're one who is not teaching your own children, you do not want to teach your own children, and you send them off to be indoctrinated, those are going to be the ones that are up for grabs. As far as the youth, they're going to be up for grabs as far as a pick of the litter. Oh, you're going to be an option on the table as far as who to destroy, who to eat, who to tear up, because you're in this public school, or you're in this setting to where it's you're a target, so to speak. And I'm thinking with this music, like the sexy, and that's so weird though, because it's like anytime. And this is another thing too that speaks volumes on the children and the caregivers, Anytime the children is being filled like your Cardi bitches and your sexy reds and Sukihanas, every time the filth is being fed, it seems like the youth, the young little boys and girls, they seem to jump on this filth. And do they jump on this filth because that seems familiar to? Ooh, that look like mama. That's mama. And that, no. Is that why? Because it's one thing. It used to be a time to where if I want to, we'll even say 20, 30 years ago, when you want to indoctrinate the children, you almost have to beat it in their head or keep saying, hey, oh, you can cuss, you can cuss, you can cuss. And then most of the time the kids will be like, ooh, you cuss. You know, now it's just so normal. You see what I'm saying? So I'm thinking, did something change in the hood? Are these hood rats a lot worse than what they were 20, 30 years ago? So now it's more familiar. The sexy reds and the Cardi bitches, she look like mama. Maybe that's why they're being propped up. Maybe that's why they're a quote unquote idol, because hey, you look like mama. And that's another thing too. If you're similar or worse than Cardi bitch, sexy red, Hana, and all those other ratchets, then it's one of them things where it's like, for me, I'll just be like, yeah, you will be guillotine ready. And like you those type of women and those type of people who have that destructive lifestyle and don't give a damn as far as who you destroy or you gonna take people down with you, to me, you would be more than qualified, and you, with no questions asked, will be slapped on that guillotine in no time, or thrown in a blender in no time, or fed to the sharks in no time. And no, you won't get your rights read. You'll just be off to glory. Because it's just like, I just never understood how it's cute and it's okay to just literally sacrifice your children. It's like, even if you do deem them, oh, well, there's no hope for them anyway. Look at me. I understand if you ain't shit, that don't destroy your offspring, because there's still some hope for them. Whether you believe it or not, there's still hope for the youth, because they still do have impressionable minds, and they may be just like you. Oh, I want to be dead like mama. She reminds me of Cardi bitch and sexy red. Even if they look up to you in the worst way, but like I say, that's what they grew up. They grew up seeing the destruction, so to them, it's normal. So they don't quite know right from wrong yet, and they don't quite have a set mind on what they actually want to do. They just see it from you and they deem it as normal. But I mean, I'm thinking, whatever this sacrificial, and I want to say that did just start happening because the witchcraft, now witchcraft has been around for a while or for a long time, but it hasn't been propped up until recently. You know, recently has it been okay to do witchcraft and everything's normal to be into sorcery or to basically be a demon and a witch. It's normal now, but it wasn't normal before. So this new witchcraft era that's coming through, it's different. That's a different era, which is probably now. Maybe that's the era that's coming in now. Maybe these are the demons and witches and warlocks, which is why things seem so destructive now. But anyone who's entertaining it, like I say, as far as a parent, like you're okay with destroying your youth, you're okay with your little girls being literally up for grabs when it comes to getting toe up. And the poor little boys, I'm thinking the boys have already got toe up, to tell you the truth, because it's something about you start with the men. You start with they always start with the, you start with the biggest and the best, so to speak, you know. So you get the men out the way. The men are out the way, which is why these children are being raised with the Cardi bitches and the sexy reds and the Sukihanas, which is probably, like I say again, this is probably why sexy red and Sukihana, they get propped up and the children love them, because you look like mama. You remind me of my mama. So only time I can prop the mom up is because the father's he's obviously not in the picture. Whether you're dead or removed or ran away, whatever it is, he's not in the picture. So got rid of the man, leave it up to the woman to destroy the world. And at first I did not understand that. I'm thinking like, hey, how can a woman destroy the world? Hey, we're supposed to be the ones doing all the cooking and cleaning. And at this point, yeah, right. You can't pay these so-and-sos to cook and clean these days. At least not the sexy reds or the Sukihanas or the Cardi bitches. Because they'll tell you, I don't cook. All I do is... But... Okay, so then you have your young boys and your young girls. The little boys are going to be next. So you got the Sukihana raising their children. So you have the young boys and the young girls. The next on the list is going to be the young boys. So how can I tame him or get him into shape? You either set him to be raise him to be a total nuisance, or you raise him to be a tambourine, a little fairy, so to speak. And I'm going to be I'm not even going to just use the nicknames, because normally I'll just flat out say it. So he's either going to be a full-fledged nuisance or a full-fledged fairy. And then you can do the math on what the little girl's going to end up being. And I'll give you a hint. It starts with it can start with a W or an H. You do the math. It's basically, if she's going to be another Sexy Red or Cardi bitch, or Suki Hana, or etc. Or hell, or probably not even that. Maybe she won't be. Maybe she won't be a whore. Maybe she'll be a full-fledged bull dagger. We'll just say that too. So, with that being said, I can believe it. As far as the youth being destroyed by the woman, I can believe it. I can believe it because that's what I'm seeing. You flick on the TV, who is destroying the youth? It's these bitches on TV. But then again, is that their fault? Making a few dollars on being themselves? 'Cause I'm sure they're really naturally ratchet like that anyway. Hey, I get paid money to act like my mama? Whoa, that's a good deal. But at the same time, where are you to protect your children from these traps? And you're probably not anywhere because you're participating. You're allowing it to happen. So that's why I say it would be nothing for me to slap you on a guillotine. Like, I would feed you to the sharks in a second. Because trust me, there needs to be balance, and I can promise you, I can balance this place out in one day. Give me less than 24 hours, because it'll be... Put it this way, there needs to be a cleanse. There needs to be a cleanse. Because there's too much evil taking over. And it's destroying the youth. Nobody gives a damn, though, because like I said, these people, especially the parents, they don't give a damn about their damn children, as long as they out of their damn hair. Giving them space to do what they need to do and want to do. But for me, there will be no such thing as raggedy parents, because you won't exist. You won't. Yeah, you won't. You won't have this is America, I can do what you want. Yeah, you can do what you want to do. You can choose the guillotine, the blender, the sharks, or the tree. Well, the tree, I'll explain the tree later. And I don't mean hanging you from a tree. But yeah. It just looks terrible. Like on the TV, and that's all they show. Like I said, is that like, again, I really want to know genuinely, is that a hood thing or is that a public school thing or both? As far as who's easy, like who has the easy target children? To me, I would say probably the hood, because it seems like people don't. You're gonna always see a child outside, especially the one with the soggy diaper. You're gonna always see one outside unattended. Probably not so much in public schools, but then again, the dirt that goes on in public schools is on the inside, or at those school events. You see what I'm saying? It's a little bit different in public school, but then again, you're still released into the hands of the Gentiles. I don't know, whatever. But be well, be safe.